नमस्ते। अहिले म अर्जेन्टिनाको ब्युनस एरिज भन्ने सहरमा छु। यो अहिले देखिएको चाहिँ नि यहाँको मेजर एट्र्याक्सन चाहिँ यहाँको टुरिस्टिक डेस्टिनेसनमा पर्ने मेन ठाउँ रेकोलेटा भन्ने ठाउँमा रहेको यो सेमेटरी हो। यो किन फेमस छ भने यहाँ 14वटा पहिलाका अर्जेन्टिनाका प्रेसिडेन्टहरू, धनाढ्यहरू, इभा पेरोन भन्ने इभिटा जुन पहिलाको यहाँकी फर्स्ट लेडी थिइन्, उनको पार्थिव शरीरहरू राखिएको छ। यो यसमा चाहिँ नि किन फेमस अर्को कारणले पनि छ भनेदेखि पहिला चर्चमा चाहिँ सबैलाई राख्न नपाउने भन्ने नियमहरू पाद्रीहरूले चाहिँ नि क्रिस्चियनहरूले बनाएपछि यो धनाढ्यहरूले चाहिँ नि त्यसो भए हामी आफ्नै बनाउँछौँ भनेर उनीहरूले चाहिँ नि जमिन मुनि नभएर जमिनको सतहभन्दा माथिको चाहिँ नि यो आर्किटेक्चर बनाएर एकदमै कम्पिटिसन जस्तो पनि गराएर कसको चाहिँ राम्रो हुन्छ भन्ने खालको गरेर पनि गर्छ। र यहाँ टुर हुन्छ, यहाँ छिर्नको लागि अलिकति पैसा तिर्नुपर्छ र टुर गाइडले हामीलाई छिराउँछ।
Okay, below the statue, and then it goes down from 6 to 8 meters, where you have more family members below. Okay, I know what you're thinking. The mother-in-law or the aunt that no one like probably below. Yes, you can send that to your mother-in-law. And see, it's just the way the cemetery was designed. Then regarding the coffins, those are not regular coffins. Only in certain cases, the body went through an embalming process like Evita or forefathers that died abroad. If not, it's just the actual body there. And even though you see wood, they have metal inside and they're sealed. They come with a valve, like the valve of a tire, with formal in it, or made out of liquid and gases. So it expels the gas through the formal without smell. That's even a requirement when you bring a new coffin to the cemetery. It has to be. I'm going to clean the hair.
यो अहिले
I want to get it back. I'll pay.
सेमेटरीको
And
एक्चुअल
there's
टुर
also real
भइरहेछ।
estate one. Real estate. But to be
यिनीहरूमा
honest,
चाहिँ प्रोपर्टी
here,
ट्याक्स शुद्ध
because
तिर्नुपर्ने
it's
रहेछ
validated,
आजीवन, नत्र
the other
भने 100
cemetery,
पल्ट तिरेन
it
भने
has must be.
सिटीले लग्ने रहेछ।
Here, it's also, he's no longer here. He's next to San Martin, Tomas Guido. You know, you have San Martin and then
On the left side.
Why is it weird looking like this? Well, Guido left on his will. He wrote on a letter specifically, I want to sleep under the rocks of the Andes. This one, let's see, Guillermo means William in Spanish. Guillermo Brown, born in Foxford, Mayo County, Ireland, English by origin, Argentine by its services. It's what we call a crypt, meaning that it's only one guy. And it's a very important thinker. And of course, when you look at this, you can tell he was a grandmaster mason. This was added later. You know, how can you tell he was a mason if you didn't have that? The chains. When they have those type of chains, rectangular, and the longer the links are, the higher rank he was. Alberdi wrote our 1853 Constitution. He copied a lot of things from the U.S. Constitution that the U.S. copied from the French. My favorite. I have a tendency of liking the ones that the artwork tells a story. No one's paying, no one's taking care of it, the city doesn't do anything, and once they stop paying for a 99 period of time, then the city can claim it back. And then they decide if it's historical, they need to keep it or not, And I mean, they're intact. Like if you just Italian and German, but most of them are from France. This is an important forefather. Salvador María del Carril, very important guy. He was Vice President of Argentina, creator of the Supreme Court, very important guy. On the other side, his wife. They were married, they had 7 kids together, but in some point of the relationship, the wife started to overspend money, and he went nuts and published on a newspaper, I'm not going to be responsible for my wife's death. That's a way to shame her in front of the high society. So they stopped talking to each other for over 20 years. No divorce, Catholic country. And he was older. He died first. And the only thing she said when he died was ask how much money did he left. So he left a lot of money, so she hired a French architect to build a mausoleum and follow his instructions. He's sitting on the vice president chair looking at the south. And look what she did when she died. She requested specifically that her bust will give the back to him so they continue hating each other or not talking to each other forever. To a general that's quite close to him, asking him to kill another guy that's on the other side. All of them here. This, it's a pantheon, this one. This is a pantheon of a political party that we still have, and that's the date of the revolution. They did a revolution, and the US participated on defending the government, not took part of the revolution, and with ships. And well, they did a revolution to a guy that's in the middle. All of them here. That's the mausoleum. This is a tribute paid by his friends. Look at this. He was a doctor. You can tell that's the medicine. Dr. Don Toribio de Ayerza, testimony of friendship and gratitude of its friends. All of this was done in Italy, in Italian marble. And look, that's the name of the artist, Genoa, 1889. This is priceless. This is a tribute to him, paid to that one, Ayerza, see, to that mausoleum. This is a tribute paid by its friends. Yes. So this is just priceless. Story. This is an important heavyweight boxer, Luis Angel Firpo, aka the Bull from the Pampas. He fought against Jack Dempsey in New York City in 1923. His fight with Dempsey was considered the fight of the century, and everyone saw how he got ripped off because he threw Dempsey out of the ring, and Bellows did a wonderful paint of that, and more than 10 seconds went by. It was like 30. It was a scandal, but they allowed the fight to continue, and then Dempsey won by knockout later on at the end. But the problem was that he never had a promoter. He never liked having a promoter. And you know who was Dempsey's promoter? Some guy from Chicago called Alphonse Capone. Al Capone. It was one of the first radio broadcast fights. That's why it's so important for us. This is his mausoleum. Yeah, he's here. And that's a real size statue. It was quite big. This is one lot. This is a small size. This is one lot. Maselli. Look at this one. How many lots do you have here? A lot. Leloir family. This family, the mausoleum, it's from the early 1900s. The father died in 1906 in France. And they did a study in 2020 during the pandemic of how much money would it cost to build something like this today. $2.5 million just to build something. Starting from the bases, those pink bases. The pink, it's our national, it's kind of considered like a precious stone. The whole thing is made out of it. It's a family member that we remember the most from this family is their son. Their son, Luis Federico Leloir, won the 1970 Chemistry Nobel Prize. He discovered that sugar transforms into energy. He got $80,000 for the prize. Go back to 1970. I don't know. A Cadillac was rich already. Yeah. And the parents have a type of sarcophagus attached to the side, and then it goes down full 8 meters, and it has room for 20 coffins. The price to this, it's impossible because they cannot sell it. It's a national monument because it's the most luxurious one of all of the cemetery. It was declared national monument, and also the Nobel Prize winner. But this family is still around, and they own 2 more also. Yeah. Means you cannot modify it, you cannot sell it. Exactly. They don't have to pay property tax. They don't have to do anything. But the keeper, the family pays the keeper. Argentina. Some people like them, some people don't. It's like 50-50. And then president. But a democratic elected president. It's just here you have 2 events that he did. Remember I mentioned that Patagonia was indigenous territory. So desert campaign, because they thought of Patagonia as a desert. The army fighting the indigenous, and this means like farming and progress. And on the other side, pax with Chile. So some people don't like this. He kind of replied a little bit of the campaign of the West and what the U.S. did, He even did indigenous restoration. Roca, Julio Argentino Roca. But as a president, he did lots of very important things.
So he basically got peace with
Yes.
as a president.
And then he, as soon as she became the first lady and the face of the party, of the Peronist party. She died very young, 33 years old, of cancer. Started as a uterus cancer and then it turned into spinal cancer. She died in 1952, and Perón did an embalming process of the body that lasted almost 9 months. 9 months. He wanted to do like Mao in China or Lenin, something like that. In 1955, military coup, overthrown Perón, and the military banned Peronism, and they took the body of Evita that was placed at the Central Workers Association for display and took it and hid it in Milan cemetery in Italy for many, many years. Until in the 70s, Perón got the body back from the government. It was given to him in Madrid. He was living in exile. Then he becomes president, returns to Argentina in 1973, and dies in 1974. The third wife is the one that returns the body, but she didn't want to lose the starship of being Perón's wife. So she was not going to place her with him. So they didn't know what to do with the body. So she was rushed to this mausoleum, medium size, that was built by her uncle, Arrieta, Alfredo Arrieta. He's the one that built it. And then you have plates dedicated to her. And it's the only one that always has fresh flowers. People still come and bring fresh flowers to her. Even though you will see coffins, her body is below on this section. And you can tell it's one of the most guarded mausoleums because you have lights on a camera staring at us. In case you're thinking about stealing her body, it's not going to be easy. And I'm not sure if it's going to fit in my car. Yeah. See, this is a simple one, not so. See how it doesn't have the family name? They usually remove the one that has the largest amounts of ghost stories. They call her the White Lady. So, Rufina Cambaceres was a beautiful young girl, almost 19 years old, and she died of a heart attack right before her 19-year-old birthday party. the mother consult the father. This is actually the family mausoleum. This one. This whole corner was done only for her. The mother, when she died, consulted back in 1902, consulted 3 different doctors, and all of the doctors agree and said, yes, she's dead. So you can proceed with the burial. So I explained how the coffins are sealed. She was placed, they only waited 30 hours, and she was placed on the family, on this one, on the family mausoleum. 3 days later, the keeper saw that the coffin was tilted and she was trying to get out. She was trapped inside the coffin. So after that, the family did this beautiful corner, which I call Catholic guilt. This beautiful corner only dedicated to Rufina, with a beautiful statue of Rufina, and that's the representation of a door, and she's trying to open it. All in this beautiful Art Nouveau style, with the iris flowers, and the same flower pointed the way to the sky. And instead of the coffin, they replaced the coffin with this marble sarcophagus with the same flower on top that they got it requested in Italy. Imagine the amounts of legends. And when in that first, that she wanders off to the pubs and bars of Recoleta. So whenever you see a white girl, Sarmiento, Argentina, in the 1860s, had a terrible illiteracy rate. No one knew how to read and write. It was one of the worst countries of the region. And we went from that to be one of the highest because of him. And he really changed the country. He passed a law that we still have today of free public mandatory education. To change it, he brought over 60 teachers from the US. Yes, that's why when I visit my brother in Boston, Boston has an avenue called Commonwealth Avenue that has a boulevard in the middle, and there's a statue of him because it was the place for education. So basically, when you're a kid and you have to wake up early to go to school, why did you have to? Master Mason of our history. Look at the signs of he was the biggest Grandmaster, 47-degree Mason. All plagues, dedicated to him. He's a very important forefather. He totally changed the country. But everything is, which one? Sarmiento became president of Argentina. He was president. He told me that recently they opened up the mausoleum. It's him, his family. He had an adopted Chilean son. Yes, but his son died in a terrible war that we have against Paraguay. But it's a beautiful. We call this style Gothic brutalism. And the couple used to. That's Liliana. Liliana wearing her wedding dress. Unfortunately, the couple used to love going skiing, and the father bought him a trip to Austria, to Innsbruck, to a ski resort, and an avalanche covered the hotel, and she was trapped and died. That's why she's wearing the wedding dress, and the father, with the statue, he plays her loyal friend. It says Sabu, loyal friend of Liliana. And there's a stupid legend, that's why the family got tired of it, that people kept rubbing Sabu's nose, the dog's nose, because they say it's good luck. So now they're not rubbing it so much. This is a crypt. It's only him. It's a national monument. It was just restored, and you have a representation here of justice, service, duty. It's beautifully restored. He was a president of Argentina and the creator of a newspaper that we still have today.